by Rhodesians. Why can't he leave the Rhodesians to sort out their problems? As KK would say, we are not free until we are all free. And we understood what it meant to struggle, not just for ourselves, but for others. Lesson amongst many from KK. As a visionary and selfless leader, he and his colleagues, one of whom spoke again just minutes ago, another who passed on a few days ago, Mr. Scott Awina, Munamuhulu, and others who worked together from all parts of this country tirelessly to bring about not just unity but development. Huyantansh, Ukomo, to our country. They worked together as a team, recognized, as one of the speakers mentioned, their diversity, including diversity in talents, which we must cherish. They pushed hard under difficulties with lesser skills in terms of formal education. Most of us remember that there were just about 100 graduates at the time of independence, just about that number. But because they were committed to the cause of this country, they were able to pool their talents, limited as they were, but driven by the desire to develop this country. And they pushed so hard. Many of the things we see today came about because of their efforts. We thank them for that. KK believed in the power of agriculture and that we must all be able to go to bed having eaten. Great indeed. As a farmer myself, I understand the importance of farming as a primary duty to take care of the family. Those of us who come from extended families, it would have been very difficult to keep our nephews, cousins without producing food if we were to buy that food from the markets every day. But when we produce it, you can keep large numbers of people easily without feeling it. Lessons from KK. We can all continue to learn from this teacher, even now and beyond. KK looked at so many aspects of agriculture. I remember as kids in the village in Wengwa, buyers of cattle will come, and we as small boys will be asked to drive the cattle, which the UNIP government was buying to restock cattle in other parts of the country where there was no cattle. Created state farms, some in northern, and that's the vision. Those are the teachings of KK. So we were asking questions. No ngombe so yaguli. Go there. Because KK understood the importance of sharing, assisting each other, working as a composite, not as pieces standing alone, but as a composite. And later on, we heard of Kawambwa tea, Kasama coffee, and that we could enjoy the coffee from the northern part of the country in other parts of the country where coffee was not known, was not produced. So coffee was for us all. Tea was for us all. Cattle was for us all. This is KK. Great, indeed. Education. Some of us went to school first 3, 4, 5 years, no shoes, but went to school. KK. How do we remember him? I was determined personally that the day God allows us to serve the people of Zambia, we shall give to citizen children of Zambia what KK gave us. The best investment, education. And we make no apologies at all. We do it with pride to deliver free education. Because that's what KK gave to us. So we give to others. Anyone says, oh, Lupia, Lunono san, how will wingi? It's a question of priorities. Within our challenge treasury, we have to decide our priorities so we can do what our teacher taught us. So, abana banshiwa, abana bapina, like we were in a village, could also have an opportunity to go to school. That inheritance which no one can take away from children, our children. It's KK. That was planted in our heads that every other child should benefit from. I think we should be proud as a country. The CDF you see today, it appears just it was police position. No, it was the teachings of KK, so that man north, man south, Kaweche, you haven't forgotten that, of course. My brother Kaweche. Man east, man west. They can make their own decisions as to the priorities, the challenges that they face in their locality. Because too much money was sitting in Lusaka, and most of it got misused in Lusaka. So let's send it to the owners. Who taught us that? KK. When? Long time ago. Does a man like that die? In body, yes. But he's alive. He shall continue to be alive. Thank you, KK. Thank you so much. Fellow citizens, we celebrate Dr. Kaunda for inspiring us all to work hard, to be honest, to be honest. KK brought dignity into the presidency. We can't argue about that. He brought dignity into the presidency, that office of the presidency, representing millions of people. I say to my wife every now and then that we never thought that we would sit in the offices KK sat. It's a rare privilege which we should never take for granted. It is a rare privilege that we must reflect on that dignity that he brought to that office. To save people, not to be saved. To unite, not to divide. To include, not to exclude. KK, the teacher. Great indeed. Great indeed. To treat others in an equitous manner. In this our Christian nation, the teacher taught us, the teacher KK taught us to see each other in the eyes of God. I'm not competent, there are competent men here in that sphere. But to see other people in the eyes of God, since we are all God's creations, it means that we are brothers and sisters. KK, the teacher from Chinsali, who taught not just us, in the villages, but taught others who are now presidents in other countries. A teacher who made our facilities here available to others from other parts of the world. Bishop Mwamba, thank you for keeping UNIP alive. Because it's heritage you are keeping there. On behalf of KK, but also on behalf of all of us. We knew no other political party at the time, it was only one. But to show you that KK taught many and made our facilities available to others, not just us in this country. 4 months ago, we had a meeting, around 5 months ago, in Kazungula, but on the Botswana side, there they call it Kasane. We were discussing a few things. 4 presidents. The host president, Mogwesi Masisi of Botswana, President Hage Geingob of Namibia, President Emerson Mnangagwa of Zimbabwe, and HH, that fellow HH. And then we started talking about our heritage, the schools we went to. It dawned on us that of the 4 countries that were meeting there, 3 presidents were produced by KK. I'm sure you weren't conscious of that. President Mnangagwa sat in those lecture theaters at the University of Zambia under KK's, on behalf of the people of Zambia, philanthropic desire to see others go to school when Zimbabwe was in difficulties. So President Mnangagwa is a graduate of UNZA. President Hage Geingob, when I was an undergraduate student at UNZA myself, was a staffer at UNZA who was in charge of the Institute for Namibia. So to that extent, a product of UNZA, and indeed myself. So we said, Masisi, you missed something. This is KK. There you are. The children, Panji, Tilienji, Musata, Cheswa, Kawecha had already mentioned you, so I'm not ignoring you. Thought KK was theirs. To be honest, in these positions you put us, quickly you realize that you're not available for your children. Because I said to my wife, please forgive me. I'm now married to 18 million Zambians. We learned that from KK. Great man, indeed. I can go on and on. It's not necessary. This will not be the first anniversary, the only anniversary. It is the first one, but it will not be the only anniversary. I can only say to the Kaunda family, yes, you are the immediate family members. So what you do must be carefully assessed before you act, so you can keep this teacher's heritage straight. Because for so many years, almost biblical age he lived, he was able to keep his name straight. So you carry that name. So remember, before you do something, even in privacy, In one of the African languages, you say, even wars have eyes and ears. Remember KK, that heritage. But you are not alone. All of us have to reflect what we do before we do it, so we can keep that name clean and remain a symbol of decency and love. Brothers and sisters, fellow citizens, our country must continue to celebrate and build on the efforts of our fallen heroes. Last first cabinet member gone. Some are still living in the struggle. I want to agree, Your Excellency, High Commissioner to Malawi, Panji Kaunda, that the history must be written and written properly, so that all the names that worked with KK and the roles that they played are correctly recorded. Thank you for raising that issue. I think national heritage, you have your marching orders from His Excellency, High Commissioner to Malawi, who is only a messenger of KK. Let us write our history properly, accordingly, fairly. Let us not use politics to record history. Facts cannot be altered. And that is why, after our inauguration, I decided to go and visit Chinsali at Bashimpundu's gravesite, Simon Mwansakapwepu, and then went on to Harry's Mwanga's gravesite. This year we will do 2 of our freedom fighters' burial sites, and that shall continue. It's just deliberate. So let's write our history properly, and the future will remember where they're coming. The children will remember in future where they're coming from. We must continue to build on this rich legacy of the founding fathers of our nation, Dr. Kaunda being the leader of that legion. I choose the words carefully, legion of leaders. Let us march together, tiende pamoja, into the future to build on the political independence. Now, for this generation, is to deliver on the platform of political independence and unity. Let us deliver economic and social independence. We can't compete with the KK and his generation on the political side. History cannot be rewritten. But we have a duty to carry on with the baton of relay to deliver economic and social independence. It's going to be tough a little bit to restructure our economy. The treasury was largely empty, but we work hard, very hard, together. We can't leave it to HH. There's only one soul. The church have a role, we have roles, but we have to work in unity to deliver that phase of the struggle. So I call upon all of us. Truly, the church had an opportunity to have lunch in Nairobi yesterday with the clergy. The Archbishop of Nairobi was there, Catholic Church, Anglican Church was there, SDAs, evangelicals were there, and we were praying for the peaceful elections in Kenya. Because we know trouble anywhere is trouble everywhere. We know it. As we pray for Cabo Delgado in northern Mozambique to contain the extremism there, it's our duty. Many Zambians don't know we are actually engaged in that struggle. Our men and women are in there, in northern Mozambique, as we sit here. So we pray for them and all our people that are trying to bring stability to our sisterly country, Mozambique. We pray for Congo DR and Rwanda, that what is blowing up there is not what we need. And part of my trip to Nairobi was to discuss that. And we believe yesterday there was an agreement for them to stop sharing into each other's country. We learned that from KK, from our teacher. So, but if we are talking about unity elsewhere, charity begins at home, unity here in our land, then we can carry that unity with pride into the countries around us, as KK did. So, let it forever be one Zambia. I want to hear you. One Zambia. Let's add another portion. One Zambia, one nation, one people. One Zambia, one nation. Fantastic. Let's carry that forward. Brothers and sisters, countrymen, God bless the legacy of Dr. Kaunda. God bless the legacy of our founding father and his team. God bless them. Many are gone, some are still alive. We remember KK in many ways, as we have listened today. But we also remember him in song. My wife knows I'm a noisemaker. Most of you are not aware. In the house, I'm whistling, I'm singing, I'm in the shower. She knows I'm in the shower if she's still asleep because she hears the songs, like KK. So remember KK in song as well. Tunyina munzimu wotu tatu yandi wa munyiga pesi atu komani he mbotulanga munzi umbi mbotulanga munzi umbi tunyina munzi muwotu tulanga utalibonyi zionindi inalyao ulasala labunene ulasala labunene nchilawo jagumuna nchilawo javanununwa kutindaba amababa ndilawo lugilawo ndilawo limwimwini handileshe. God bless our country, Zambia. I thank you for your kind attention. Thank you.
St. Paul's Choir, a short song, just a short one. Thank you. We have come to the close of the memorial service for our first Republican president, Dr. Kenneth David Kaunda. May I once more request that we be upstanding as I invite the music director, Defense and Security Choir, to lead us in the closing hymn, Rock of Ages, which is hymn number 45 from the UCZ hymn book. We are going to sing 2 stanzas only, and thereafter I invite the
stands to win 250,000 kwacha each race, plus 100,000 kwacha in our end of season draw. 4 to flag, free to enter, no under 18, regulated by the Lotteries Board.
Grandpa, will you please tell me a story?
This is the source of all good stories.
Ah, Grandpa, but that's only today's Daily Mail.
This newspaper has all the stories you need to know. Did you know that Zambia got its independence in 1964? And guess what? This newspaper covered the story. It was called the Central African Mail then. It also covered the story of Chiluba, re-ushering Zambia's multi-party democratic system. Sometimes this paper brought us sad stories. Other times it brought us great news. But this paper goes beyond facts. I got my first job by looking at the job advert section of the newspaper.
Wow! This paper really has everything.
Yes, it does, my grandchild. And this is the story of Zambia.
Zambia Daily Mail, without fear or favor.
The past 2 years have been a time of learning new ways of doing business in a new world, and many businesses are hungry to create new linkages. The Zambia International Trade Fair provides a platform for you to engage with the world, showcase your product, share ideas,